Alvin Green is up on felony obscenity charges. You remember Alvin Green? He was the guy who was running against Jim DeMint in South Carolina. Obviously, Jim DeMint started the recession. I know that because I saw Alvin Green say it about 28 times in one interview. But as it turns out, shockingly enough, Alvin Green lost that election to Jim DeMint. And so he's not the senator from South Carolina now. And in fact, he's up on charges, as I said. I'm going to get back to those charges in a second. But here's the funny part. As he was talking to the press, as he's going into the courtroom, he tells the Columbia Free Times, quote, "I'm running for president of the United States." Oh, geez, Lord mercy. Don't do it, Alvin. Don't do it. He continues, "I'm the next president. I'll be 35 just before November of 2012, so I was born to be president. I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm the man. Green's the man. I'm the man. I'm the greatest person ever. I was born to be president. I'm the man. I'm the greatest individual ever." That quote is awesome. Here's what we know about Alvin Green. He likes to repeat himself. Okay, he wants to be very clear. He kind of reminds me of Bush in this way. In my line of work, as Bush would say, you got to, catapult the propaganda. But, you got to give it to Green because we know now that Jim DeMint started the recession and that Alvin Green is the man. I don't know. I guess he's trying to pull a Muhammad Ali, but I mean, there's a way to do it and there's not a way to do it. It's saying that quote, "I am the greatest individual ever." I don't think that's Ali-esque. I think that's clownish, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Hey, listen, when they said Alvin Green couldn't win the Democratic primary for senator from South Carolina, they were wrong, weren't they? And when they said he couldn't beat Jim DeMint, well, they were totally right. He wasn't even close. All right, now back to the obscenity charges. The more I look at this case, the more I'm wondering, why is he up on these charges? I mean, everything about Alvin Green is strange. Everything surrounding him, right? You remember the story? He goes up to a college student, a girl in the basement of the library, and says he wants to show her porn and then take her back to her dorm. Now, that's super creepy, super pervy wanker. But why is it a crime to show somebody porn? I'm actually not totally sure about that at all. That's a crime? To ask her to go back to them? Like, if he touches her or there's any implication of force, of course, I get it. No question about it, right? That I see how that's a crime. But if he says, "Let's go back to your room," I mean, wouldn't every guy in the world be guilty of that crime? And I guess they're focusing more on the porn, but a felony? A felony? No, that's crazy talk. Now, she says that she was scarred by it, of course. By the way, why are you so scarred by porn? Like, he showed you porn. Okay, that's weird. That's super pervy. But okay, I mean, go grab lunch. You'll be all right, okay? She says that it caused her to miss classes. Not just that class right there or whatever she was studying for, but classes, okay? And he said it caused her to lose her scholarship. Come on now. Come on now. I know Alvin Green is the greatest individual ever, but he ain't that powerful. I mean, come on, what kind of weak constitution do you have? If somebody shows you porn, you have a mental meltdown and that you can't complete your classes and lose your scholarship. Oh, not buying it. What's she going to do, sue him? He's unemployed. Like, don't get fooled by the fact that he ran for senator or he's thinking of running for president. The man ain't got a dime to his name. He spent all the money he had on getting registered to file to try to run for senator. That was $10,000. And I don't know where he got that money from. And that's never been made clear. So, in the end of all this, ironically, I say, let him go. Let him go. I don't think that's a felony at all, man. And whether he could be president, well, that's a different story. But on the other hand, he is the man.